So the biggest challenge that private equity companies today are facing is there's a whole lot of what's known as dry powder in the marketplace. What that means is simply that a lot of private equity companies have a lot of cash and they're trying to put that cash to work. It doesn't do us any good or them any good to leave that money sitting and not invested in an industry. What that's doing is making the competitive nature of deal acquisition much greater than it has been in years past. This has been going on really, it's kicked in the last 5 to 7 years is where you really see that ratcheting up. That makes the challenge of actually doing an acquisition greater than it has been in the past because the multiples are being driven up higher than they have been in years past. So if you think about the multiple, typically the multiple is projected against the profits of a company. And depending on the type of industry, that multiple could be anywhere from 3 to 7, 9, 10 times the profitability of the company or the EBITDA of the company. When it gets competitive, it may get ratcheted up 1, 2, 3 factors because the company, the private equity company, wants to get their money to work and not sitting in the bank. When that happens, it puts a lot of pressure on the private equity company to figure out how do they minimize their risk and get as much out of the company as quickly as they possibly can to drive profitability for their shareholders, their equity holders. The keys to focus on as you measure your business and to make sure that you're staying on track is the fact that you're staying true to who the company is and not stretching further than you really want to. Where I've seen companies, private equity companies, get in trouble is where they get out of their comfort zone, out of their known investment strategies just to try and buy something and are willing to pay more than they really should pay for a company. It truly gets into a risk that is not good for the investors typically and is not good for the private equity company in total.